right, let's go ahead and open up the doors. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and I am honored to be the hostess of Daily with Doc and Becca as we bring empowering information to you wherever it is that you are at. You are not hearing this information by accident, so listen up, as it may be something that really touches your heart for yourself or someone you know and love. So folks, welcome to Daily with Doc. On this program, it is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. It is for educational purposes only. Information here is not intended to diagnose or treat any diseases, but what we have learned from the research of the doctor that we have on with us today is there are no genetic diseases. There are over 600 different poor health conditions directly linked to nutritional deficiencies. So when you have something that's not genetic, and with 600 different diseases that are, or poor health conditions that are directly linked to a nutritional deficiency, chances are there's something that you can do about it. And that's what you're going to hear about today. If you were referred to this program by anybody specific, make sure that you get back with them. Tell them thank you for caring enough and taking the time to share this program with you, as we are a resource for an amazing group of individuals who are certified holistic health coaches, health advocates, even those that just love on people, wanting to make sure that they have information so that they can be their own health authority and take control of a better health journey. So get back with that person that shared this program with you. If there is no one to thank, I do have an amazing call team that is available for those who have never spoken to anybody about Dr. Wallach, Pharmacist Ben, Longevity, any of the products that we hear about on this program. So we want to make sure that you get back with them. And if there is no them, then feel free to give the call team a call, 855-949-3377. Again, that's 855-949-3377. Now, this program is being sponsored by Daily with Doc. You will find replays on our website, and that's dailywithdoc.com. And you'll also have the option to sign up for our email list, including send us information or questions. Actually, you can go to questions@dailywithdoc.com. Or if you want more information about what we do and how you can be involved as well, again, this is for the people that aren't already talking with somebody, then feel free to use info@dailywithdoc.com. So without further ado, I am excited to say hello to everybody on all the different platforms. As you are plugging in, let us know where you're plugging in from. Send us a comment, send us some love, whether it's subscribing, a like, a share. That is actually one of the best things that touches our heart when it comes to making sure that our information is being shared and reaching out to those who need it most, and that's around the world. It is my honor and privilege to welcome to the screen with me the doctor who actually gave me my life back with the information that I heard on a radio program over 8 years ago. Folks, we go through all these different tests and everything keeps coming back. Oh, you don't have this, you don't have this, or you do have this, you do have this, do you have this. And all we can do is push you off to pharmaceuticals or pain management or some type of therapy that doesn't seem to help. That includes with depression and anxiety and different types of mental health issues. And today, that is what I have asked Dr. Wallach to speak about, is mental health. And that's all ages, whether it's temporary or progressive. Dr. Wallach, you have done so much research and you have actually had some things that you yourself have overcome starting at childhood when it comes to mental health. So I think that you're a great authority to come to bring this information and what we can do to help ourselves. You have a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture in Plant and Soil Studies, Sciences. You went on to become a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. And after becoming a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, actually you were working your way through veterinary school in the pathology lab. And then you got 3 postdoctorates in pathology on over 452 species, including humans. And then you went on to become a naturopathic physician after finding the first case of what was said to be a genetic condition for humans only in a monkey. And that's all after being the lead pathologist on the expedition to save the white rhino in South Africa. So you've done quite a bit in your short little lifetime of 84 years. And it started at a very young age. So Doc, share with us a little bit, just kind of focusing on the mental health aspect of what you have done in your life.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Becca, and thank you,
Hold on,
team.
folks. I'm introducing to you right now, Dr. Joel Wallach. Now you may go.
Okay, thank you very much, Becca, and thank you, team, and thank you for all our listeners, our family. And I just am so excited because we have more new discoveries coming on here pretty soon. In a month or so, Rebecca and I and others are working on this new book. It'll be about the size of It's All in Your Head, but it's the metabolic syndrome. The title of the book is Metabolic Syndrome. Okay, yeah, it'll be that size, be metabolic syndrome, because we have found the cause, prevention, and cure of that. Okay, and so it's one of those things. It's going to really change America in a positive way because 25% of adults in America have the metabolic syndrome. 25% of adults in America have the metabolic syndrome. Okay, and part of that, so especially in the various subgroups, okay, the Black community and people who are Asian and backgrounds and so forth have all these problems, okay, and we have the flip chart, 90-foot life crusade to save humanity in the world, and it goes into these. There's all these neurological associations, and that includes, of course, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, ALS, Huntington's, chorea, frontotemporal dementia, Charcot-Marie-Tooth, Bell's palsy, cervical spondylosis, carpal tunnel syndrome, brain or spinal cord tumors, chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy. I don't know if you can have that many diseases at one time, anti-MAG peripheral neuropathies, hereditary neuropathy, pressure palsy, myelopathy. That's my favorite, myelopathy, because it goes into myelin, that white matter in the brain and the spinal cord. And that's where we came up with the I-26. I-26, I think I have an empty bottle to flip up here in the show. Maybe not. Okay. At any rate, yeah. Nope. I don't see it. Okay. At any rate, oh, here it is right in front of my eyes. Okay. It's just under a piece of paper. Okay. This has here, it's got the little chewables. I like the French vanilla. They also come in banana coconut, and then there's capsules, and then there is the powder, okay, for the I-26, and it rebuilds the brain. Now, you heard me. It rebuilds the brain because when you get demyelinating diseases, the white matter in the brain and spinal cord go away. You have all these diseases, and there's a big study published just a couple of days ago on the television news services about kids being born with these things. Well, yeah, it's not genetic. Mama was deficient in those things, and she transferred the deficiencies to the developing embryo. So what happened there is not deficient. It's not a genetic issue at all. But when you have depression, manic depression, bipolar disease, all this stuff, it's a simple nutritional deficiency disease, and doctors are involved in this because one of the things that happens as you go along, doctors say, look, you got too much cholesterol. You got to stop eating eggs. You got to stop eating these. Stop eating that. But they don't tell you to stop frying foods. They don't tell you to stop taking sugar. They don't tell you to stop eating buckwheat and gluten. Okay. And so you wind up with all these diseases. Doctors tell the family, well, this is a genetic thing. You have some of this in your family. I'm saying, well, yeah, my mother had this, my twin brother had that, and so on. Well, that's because they're eating grandma's recipes. And these nutrients that are necessary to prevent and reverse these things do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. And so when you take a country like Hunza, living in the Himalayan mountains, their lifespan is 120 years. It's well documented. Everybody goes there to challenge them, and they can't because it's true. 120 years. In America, we rank 47th in longevity. Our life expectancy is 74, not 100, 74, just 74. Okay. And that's because we are told not to eat these things by doctors, and people do this. Just eat well and you get everything you need. Don't worry about taking vitamins and minerals. I cringe every time I hear that because doctors who say that, do not take vitamins and minerals, just eat well, you get everything you need. It's impossible because there's only a few places on earth where there's everything in the soil. And if you have people who've been living there for years or livestock grazing there for years, guess what? It goes away unless you have a continual replenishing of those nutrients. And this is why we came up with all these different programs so you could replenish these nutrients and prevent these diseases, or if you have them, get rid of them. And when you look at these diseases, Parkinson's disease, for instance, in the last couple of months, the rate of Parkinson's disease diagnosis doubled, or actually went up 50%. Let's say it went up 50%. They've been running 90,000 new cases a year for, 20 years for Parkinson's disease. 60,000, okay, for 20 years. And now it's 90,000, went up 50%. Okay, that's because doctors are telling people to stop eating this, stop eating that, don't do this, don't do that. And these people are following the doctor's instructions that are getting Parkinson's disease, which is simply a demyelinating disease of the brain and spinal cord. So that's why we came up with I-26. I-26, again, will give you the nutrients you need to maintain and rebuild your myelin in your brain. You want myelin in your brain because it makes up 85% of your brain and spinal cord weight. And one of my favorite stories is from Pastor Mike Freeman. He was in a hospital up in Maryland, and he was in a coma. And by the time I heard about him, he had been in the coma for 2.5 months. And one of his members of his church, one of our great distributors up there, let's see here.
Linda Tyler.
Yeah, thank you. Linda Tyler. Okay. And her picture is in the book with Pastor Mike and me. Okay. But Pastor Mike was in a coma for 2.5 months. And they said he's only got a couple of hours to live. His end is here. Everybody in his family better come say goodbye to him. There's a chance he might hear you, but he's not going to talk back to you because he can be dead in a few minutes. We're giving him minutes or hours. And she says, is there anything we can do for him? So I asked her, I said, Linda, does he have a G tube? So we can give stuff through his G tube? No. Does he have an IV? No, they took all that away. Okay. I want you to get some of the plant minerals. Oh, I got 3 bottles in my car. Okay, good. I want you to rub half a teacup of that on his chest, belly, and lower belly. And also half a teacup on his upper back between his shoulder blades and his middle back and his lower back. And then call me in a week, let me know how he's doing. Okay. She calls me the next morning, says, he got up this morning, he's back preaching at church That was 10, 12 years ago now. And he's out there still out there preaching out to the world and telling his personal story. And so we have so many wonderful stories like that where you rebuild the tissues and the disease goes away because none of them are genetic. There are no genetically transmitted diseases, whether it's in animals or people. And doctors made that up so they wouldn't have to say, we don't know. But it's one of those things where, what should I say? The common diseases of the brain, okay, you need to be staying away from all the bad stuff so you can absorb. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. The diet one's got to go. And then use our rebound or sports drink. Use the powder. Comes 30 of these little sticks in a package, and cut it open and dump the powder into a bottle of water, kind of thing, and you'll be able to get that energy without all the sugar and without all the bad stuff that they put in there. Okay, the caffeine and all that kind of stuff. So we're very excited about this. The rebound. Okay, and then of course I like the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. The Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, one per 100 pounds of body weight. If you weigh 110, 120, you can take one of those per month. Take a half a dose of everything twice a day. Then don't forget the I-26. Go ahead and take 3 of those chewables twice a day, or 3 doses twice a day, however you do it. That'll help rebuild the myelin in the brain and spinal cord. And then we need the de-stress. Okay, take 3 of those twice a day, the de-stress. Okay, 3 doses a day, twice a day. And then, of course, also we have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets for circulation into the brain and spinal cord. I take 3 of those twice a day. And miracles happen because it's giving you blood flow into your kidneys, which are dealing with blood pressure, dealing with your heart, dealing with your lungs, dealing with your pancreas, dealing with your brain, the whole thing. And all of these diseases that are said to be genetic in the brain and spinal cord are not. And so work with us, we'll work with you. Okay. We don't charge you anything for our advice and information. Okay. This is a beautiful thing. We help so many people, thousands. No, I take that back. We help millions around the world. And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Just so excited about that. So with that said, I know Becca, she and her team will have some examples that we need to talk about. So let's go to some callers here, Becca.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Wallach. And folks, if you have any questions for Dr. Wallach, if you're out on YouTube, we do have the chat that I can see there. Plus, we have part of our team watching out on YouTube and Rumble and Facebook. So put your questions into the chat or the comments there. Or you're welcome to join us live here on Daily with Doc by going to Daily with Doc Zoom. .com. So that's all spelled out, dailywithDocZoom.com, and join us here live Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So that is 1 Mountain, 2 Central, 3 Eastern. And if you are in, I think South Africa right now is 9 p.m. So figure out whatever it is your time zone, wherever you're at, starting with 12 p.m. Pacific time. You'll find us here on dailywithdoczoom.com. Now, Dr. Wallach, we're talking about mental health, and you mentioned a lot of things that are not normally considered as part of mental health, like the neuropathies, but it all has, it's like everything is connected. If you've got something that's going on with a malnourished brain, there's so many different things, whether it's mental, emotional, or even physical, that can happen.
And biochemical.
And biochemical. Like, well, there's chemical imbalance depression. I knew that one very well. There's situational depression. So would it be nutritional deficiency, even if it's situational?
Absolutely. Because the human brain and spinal cord, the human emotions are designed from the beginning of time to cope with these things. Okay. That's why we have so many different systems to cope with these things. And this is
Mhm.
why you have some areas on Earth where people, they're just like angels. Nothing ever goes bad for them. They live in this beautiful place like the Hunzas, and they just, they're putting their wood ashes or coal ashes from their stoves and their fireplaces into their gardens and into their food. But that's because they're getting all of the glacial milk, all of this ground up minerals from the top of the mountains and by the glaciers going into the streams coming down the mountains. Instead of looking clear water, that the white dust from grinding up the rocks makes the water look like milk coming down the mountain. So they call it glacial milk. Okay. They drink it, they cook with it, they use it as a spice in their food, they use it in their gardens as a fertilizer and for irrigating their farms. And that's why they live to be 120 with no doctors. I just found that amazing. And this got me going in that direction. What is it? What is it that had that? Was it a genetic thing? No, it was not a genetic thing. They were getting all their nutrients they needed. We need 90 nutrients. That's when I came up with the 90 essential nutrients. Okay, the 90 for Life Crusade to save humanity in the world. That's the title of the flip chart, and slowly going out the door. A couple of a week, the flip charts are going out the door, and it's one of those things where we have the metabolic syndrome coming up here, and so we're working on this project. Rebecca and her team and I are working on this project. This is going to be what should I say, a blockbuster because there's so many people from so many different angles that have these problems. We know the answers. We have helped so many people with these problems in just short periods of time. Just like Pastor Mike, 24 hours. Actually, it was actually about 12 hours. He was cured by just rubbing the minerals on his belly and his back. He absorbed them through. And then we've had how many people call us and say, I just rubbed these minerals on me and my depression went away.
It is amazing, Dr. Wallach, what happens when we're mineral deficient. Absolutely. And for most people, the results that Dr. Wallach has just shared are not 100% across the board. For most people, it takes more time. It took more time for me. But when the body gets what it needs and it's gone through that detoxification stage where it can then really absorb and utilize the nutrients deep into the cells, there's really no other way for health to go rather than in a positive direction because it's no longer starving. And Dr. Wallach, when we're looking at children, when they've got some emotional behavioral things that fall into that mental health category as well, how is that nutritional deficiency when they're so young still? They don't have all these years of breakdown and decline.
Okay, well, that happened to me when I was 3 years old. They were going to institutionalize me because I was very violent when I was 3 years old. I was strong. I was dragging around boxes of grain and bales of hay and stuff like that to feed the cattle. At 3 years old, I was helping out and thought I was doing a great job. But I was just at the snap of a finger, I could turn into a monster. And I'd knock down an adult man when I was 3 years old. And they were going to put me in an institution and study me. That's what they wanted to do, is study me. And so when they told me they were going to put me in a hospital and take blood samples and all that kind of stuff, I didn't sound too good to me at 3 years old. So I'm looking at the animals on the farm and I'm saying, they're packing my clothes and all this kind of stuff, literally, because this was like Friday and I'm supposed to leave on Monday to go. And I'm thinking, okay, why is it the animals don't have these problems? I have the problem. We're living in the same farm. Well, they're eating all this stuff. And so the next morning on Saturday, I started eating their alfalfa pellets with the minerals added to them, not just alfalfa pellets, but alfalfa pellets with the minerals added to it. Okay. I did that
So,
on Saturday morning and
yeah,
Sunday morning, and by Monday morning I was cured.
so Doc, that was a few years later when you were about 9, though, that you really were able to connect the dots.
Yeah, well, well, at 3 years old, who would believe me? But my behavior changed so drastically that my parents decided not to take me to this institution. And it's fine because I was doing great. But then over time, and I'm now in school with all these other kids and eating like them and eating school diets and stuff like that, not taking, not taking any vitamins and minerals, just eating well. Suddenly now I got worse again by the time I was 9. And then I said, uh-oh. And so I knew I started needed to take my vitamins and minerals, and it made all the difference in the world in just a few days. It's just amazing because at 9 years old, I could get in I only weighed like, I don't know, 70 pounds or something like that, but I could take on,
9 years old, you're a little guy, Doc. At
yeah,
9 years old, I'm guessing you might have been 50, 60 pounds.
okay. And so I could take on, 100-pound, 150-pound man and sweep my legs on him and knock him down to the ground, just kick the snot out of him. I'm only 9 years old. They were sending police after me. It was not good. Okay. And so I said, oh, I remember that stuff when I was 3 years old. So I started taking that stuff again, the alfalfa pellets supplemented with the vitamins and minerals in them. And in a week's time, I was perfectly normal.
And you were able to go through school, participate in school activities, going
Sports.
to college. Yeah, with the sports, absolutely. Be part of the team.
Yeah, I was on the
Uh,
wrestling team. I lettered in junior high, high school, and university. I lettered in football. I only weighed 120 pounds. I was so strong though because I'm taking all these vitamins and minerals. Uh, I on offense, I was a pulling guard, and on defense, I was a linebacker.
oh my goodness. I know there's some people here on this team, Dr. Wallach, that were linebackers that are about 3 times your size. Well, twice. Um, so to imagine you as a linebacker, it's like I would, as a mom, I'm like, don't hurt my baby. Don't hurt my Dr. Wallach, I love the fact that you yourself have experienced some of these challenges with mental health that you were able to overcome. You were able to not just overcome, but overcome in a great way that you have touched millions of lives around the world. You've been part of some huge expeditions. Your thesis is in the Smithsonian Institute
The
in
national
Washington,
treasure.
D.C.
Yeah.
As a national treasure, you've received awards for your work in the study of selenium, and also you and Jonathan Emord, your attorney, have sued the FDA 8 times and won
In
to
federal
get
court,
these nutrients in federal
FDA,
court. Yeah.
FDA sued them. And that's one of my favorite things because we got rid of cystic fibrosis. It's supposed to be a genetic birth defect. Got rid of cystic fibrosis. Um, I also got rid of muscular dystrophy. Gave all that to Jerry Lewis. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association Foundation fired Jerry Lewis, put a gag on him so he couldn't tell the world we had found the cure. And then the next day, they shut down his telethon, which he'd run for them for 46 years and raised 2.2 or 2.3 billion dollars for them. But he did know before he died that we had found the cause, prevention, and cure for muscular dystrophy. He was so happy and so proud of being part of that. And then one of my favorites is sudden death syndrome, SIDS. Okay, I found the numbers this morning. 3,400 SIDS deaths every year in America up until I figured out the cause, prevention, and cure. Okay, 3,500 per 100,000 births were SIDS. They would die of 6 months of age or a year of age of a heart attack. And the doctors believed they were dying of the mothers laying on them and suffocating them. It was really just a simple deficiency of trace minerals. So I got my attorney, Jonathan Emord, he and I sued the FDA 8 times in federal court, and we won each time. We got these nutrients put into baby formulas, and within a couple of months, there were no more sudden death syndromes, no more SIDS, no more muscular dystrophy, and no more what? Cystic fibrosis.
Cystic fibrosis. Yeah.
So
It's
one
crazy.
one little dumb farm boy figured out those three things, how to get rid of them just by supplementation.
I think you just need to lose that title of dumb farm boy, dog. I really do. Because you definitely are directed by the Lord above, absolutely, in finding solutions to things that have afflicted you and those around you. And we as a team are reaching around the world, even more so. I know you over the years have had some great individuals that you've been involved with, that meetings were held around the world where you've been able to touch a lot of people. And that has continued over the decades. So with longevity, almost 3 decades, Dr. Wallach, since you originally started the company Longevity, which was prior American Longevity, and you decided that because you wanted to create an army, you went with the direct sales model instead of just giving all the dollar to the big box stores. Because
Yeah, and
it's
I have to tell you, people say, well, why did you change the name from American Longevity to what?
longevity.
Longevity, right? Okay. So I changed it because we're trying to get our products into all these countries around the world. And since we had American Longevity, Longevity on the labels, they said, sorry, we can't sell your products here in America. We don't want any products being in that bold on the label you put American Longevity. So I came up with Longevity so that we didn't have to be blocked for getting our products and systems into the world.
Those stinking Americans. Oh yeah. Well, it's pretty sad, Dr. Wallach, that the United States does rank 47. That's 46 other countries that have better health than we do. Yet when you look at the dollar amount that is spent on medical care, we are number one. It just does not make sense. The numbers, it doesn't make sense. But folks, when you look at the countries that are relying more on nutrients,
Actually, it's
and
53. It's 53 other countries.
no. How can that be? If we're 47, we're
53.
number 47. There's 53 to get to 100, but there's 46 that have better health than we do. And there's more than 100 countries. So with my math, there are 46 countries that are doing a lot better than we are. But aside for that, Dr. Wallach, let's just help all of us do better. All right. Well, folks, if you have questions for Dr. Wallach and you are here live with us in the Zoom room, go ahead and find that option in the Zoom menu to raise your virtual hand. So if you go like this, I'm not going to see you. Sorry. I have to focus on too many things for that. But raise that virtual hand and we will call on people in the order that your hand was raised. We have our co-hosts that are out on Facebook and YouTube and Rumble looking at those comments and bringing those questions into the room as time permits. Plus, I have lots of emails that are coming in. So, Dr. Wallach, let's first go to Sherry with her hand up. And Sherry, go ahead, and what questions do you have for Dr. Wallach today?
Well, we have a caller who called in and wanted to know what to do for prostate cancer. He is 67 years old, 5 feet 11, weighs 210 pounds. He has a score. He had a PSA score from 10. At 10, they gave him 2 shots of Lupon, never heard of it before, to lower his testosterone. It went down to 0. The biopsy did confirm it's cancer in the prostate. He wants to know what he should do for prostate cancer.
Okay, well, we have to get his immune system up. So his immune system can stand up and say, okay, you ain't coming here, cancer. Okay, that's what you need. And you say he weighed what again?
210 pounds.
Okay, so he needs to get rid of all the bad foods. Everything is going to interfere with absorption. So no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And then I want him to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. We also want him to have our ProstFX. He can go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. We also want him to have our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day for circulation to get the antibodies and immune system to him. Okay. And also it'll help the circulation into the bone marrow, which helps again with the immune system. And let's see here. Let's go with some extra selenium. I want him to have 3 of our selenium. It would be 3 selenium. He'll be able to take from each of the healthy brain and heart packs twice a day. But I want him to take 3 selenium 3 times a day. I take it 3 twice a day, and I only weigh 142 pounds. And so the whole idea, and I take ProstFX also. And the whole idea is to give your body what it needs to keep all these tissues healthy. Okay. And let's see here.
Fucoid Z and Z radical. Did you mention that, Doc?
I did not put in Z radical. And what was the other one you talked about?
Fucoid Z.
Oh, Fucoid Z. Well, there you go. Yeah, Fucoid Z and Z radical. Go ahead and take a dose of that twice a day. And I also like herbal rainforest in that category of liquid supplements there. Herbal rainforest. Take an ounce of each of those 3 twice a day. And that's going to get the immune system way up here to help defend him.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Sherry, did you have another question?
That was the only one.
All right. Thank you so much. And let's move right over to Phyllis. Phyllis, what questions do you have for Dr. Wallach today?
Well, Doc, I actually have 2 questions. And the first one has 2 parts. And this is for Zipka regarding a 14-year-old boy. We don't know his weight. He has cerebral palsy. He was born prematurely, 24 weeks, had a stroke at birth that damaged the executive function of his brain. He's had heart surgery to close a valve. Currently has issues with mood regulation and impulsivity. Finally, he's been told he's only going to be 5'8", which bothers him a lot because he wants to be a lot taller. So question number 1, the psychiatrist wants to know, will these 3 products interfere with the Lexapro that he's taking, which is an SSRI drug? And the 3 products are the BTT tablets, the EFA Plus, and the Bone Builder. So can he take those without interfering with that Lexapro drug?
Yeah. Okay. And he's got MS, right?
He
CP.
has cerebral palsy, had a
Cerebral
stroke
palsy,
at birth.
Okay. So he needs our I-26 is missing. I-26 that'll rebuild the myelin and the white matter of the brain and spinal cord. Okay. And let's see here. I'd also have him take our de-stress capsules. Take 3 of those twice a day. And let's see here. I think let's go with that. But don't forget the I-26. At his age, he probably likes the chewables or the capsules, either one. I like the chewables. I take 3 of those twice a day. I like the French vanilla, but they do come in banana coconut. I think that's actually more popular generally than the French vanilla, but there you go.
And I think they're both pretty good. So we can reassure the psychiatrist that those BTT tablets, the EFA Plus, and the Bone Builder, they're not going to interfere with the functioning of that drug.
That is correct.
Wonderful. Okay, second question. I know you love the animal questions. This is for a cat. 10 months old and a male cat, not yet neutered. The cat is 11 pounds. This is a question Marilyn is asking. Now, here's the problem. A blood test is showing a high liver enzyme at 312. She's been told it should be 150. The cat is eating, drinking, acting normal, doesn't act sick, but they're telling her that somehow they got to get that liver enzyme lowered so he can get neutered. What can we do for this cat?
Okay. Let's see here. Becca, what's your favorite supplement product for cats and dogs?
Is it
I was muted.
perpetual?
Yep, Arthrodex and Perpetual Plus
There you go.
are the foundation to start for our cats and dogs alike.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, love the Arthrodex. Beautiful.
So that'll get those enzymes down and our kitty can finally get neutered.
Well, if that's what the goal is, yeah.
All right. Thanks so much, Doc.
Okay. Keep in touch.
Maybe the cat knows that something's going to happen if he keeps it, and he's just wanting to prevent being cut on, Doc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Our animals are
they're being too nice for some reason. There's got to be something wrong here.
well, I think that animals really play a big part when it comes to mental health as well, as they can be very calming. And whenever our pets are hurting, we hurt as well. So I can truly appreciate the fact that people are writing in and asking questions about their pets. I have one. There's a 2-year-old female who is leaking urine during the night, and she sleeps with mama, so mama's not too happy about that. She is house trained. So what would cause a dog to leak urine, even though she doesn't have to go out to go pee? Could that
Yeah, I want to know what the dog is being fed.
okay?
Does the dog have a blood sugar problem? Does the dog have a problem in the kidneys? Does the dog have a problem in the brain? Okay, is it getting dry dog food with no vitamins and minerals in it? Is it getting canned dog food with a lot of bad things in there, like gluten and stuff? So we need more information because there's a reason why that's happening. You have to appreciate the most nutritional research for humans was done in laboratory animals, dogs, cats, rats, monkeys, that kind of stuff. So there's an enormous amount of information available. So we just have to find out where the breakdown is in that particular animal.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And yeah, blood sugar issues also affect our animals as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely want to make sure that they are getting not just a healthy diet, because you can't get all the nutrition from food, but also make sure that they get the nutrition needed to support their bodies.
Yeah, well, the first thing when a cat, gets a fish or a rabbit or a rat or something like that, they eat the liver, which all these animals store all their nutrients, the minerals and vitamins and amino acids, they store them in the liver. So when you eat the liver, you're getting that's how people used to get their supplements in the old days. They'd eat the liver. Now they didn't know that. That's just the way it happened. I guess we got to take care of these people. They're not doing the right thing. So I'll store all these nutrients in the liver because they all like to eat the liver.
Well, and the liver is actually a pretty good sized organ.
Mm-hmm.
So like the size of a football, if I remember right.
Yep.
For a human anyways. Yeah, lots of information. Doc, I've got another one about a dog, and she is a 7-year-old, 17 pounds, and she has an enlarged heart. Now her family is wanting to make sure that the heart doesn't get too large. They have done some things where they're using Chinese medicine, Japanese medicine, plus traditional veterinary responses to this. What would be the cause of an enlarged heart?
Well, do you remember the bear story where they had, or excuse me, the dolphin story where they had these dolphins in the great aquariums around the world are trained to do dancing and do all kinds of things to entertain the audience. And they were dying like flies from congestive heart failure. And I found out that they were being fed fish that had thiaminase in the fish. Okay, and thiaminase knocks out all the thiamine. And when you have a thiamine deficiency, you get what? You get
Congestive
heart failure. And so this is why we came out with de-stress capsules. Okay, and we ended the congestive heart failure in dolphins like almost overnight. And I'm just, again, I'm sort of a kid it's figuring all this stuff out. And so we don't have the congestive heart failure in dolphins anymore because we fed them a different type of fish that doesn't have the thiaminase in the tissues.
And kid, meaning you were in your early 20s when this
Yes.
was happening.
Yeah, it was certainly not worldly.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. All right, so adding the de-stress, and if the pup is only 17 pounds, already on Arthrodex, already on an essential fatty acid, how many EFAs and how many de-stress would you recommend? And is there anything else that you would recommend, Dr.
Yeah,
Wallach?
2 each of those, two EFAs and 2 de-stress.
Per day. And do they take them all at the same time, or should they split it up? Do 1 and 1 in the morning and 1 and 1 in the evening?
Yeah, I split it up.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Doctor.
You keep the level up there for 24 hours.
Gotcha. And just want to remind everybody, you're watching Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes, and we are bringing this information to you free as a resource to an amazing community. I do want to do a shout out and thank everybody who is on here with us, including the one and only pharmacist Ben Fuchs. Thank you, pharmacist Ben, for taking time out of your schedule to jump on and be part of the Daily with Doc on days other than just Friday. So folks, we have a lot of people who have found the value in Dr. Wallach's research, message, and the formulations that have been proven solutions to help people with so many different poor health conditions. You can find solutions for yourself and your family as well. So make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there is no one to thank, go to dailywithdoc.com. You will find a store there that has all of the products that Dr. Wallach is mentioning in his protocols and recommendations to folks. If you don't know exactly what to take, we do have a call team standing by for those who are not currently working with somebody at 855-949-3377. But most importantly, get in contact with the person that shared this program with you. They took the time and cared enough. Dr. Wallach, let's go to a couple more hands. We've got about 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Rhonda, go ahead and unmute yourself, please. Hello, Rhonda. And I think Rhonda had, Rhonda had asked a question in the chat wanting to know about PCOS, which is that polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Okay.
So if we're looking at an individual, and I don't know if this is for her or a loved one, Rhonda, can you unmute yourself? Or type it in the chat. But what is polycystic ovarian syndrome, Dr. Wallach, and what would cause it?
Well, you know how to guess the right answer. It's nutritional deficiency. Okay. And this is why we came up with Xerafem for females and Xeratest for males. When you have troubles going on with the girly stuff, we have the Xerafem for them. We have stuff going on with the boy stuff, we have the Xeratest for them. And these things, to make the hormones, they require nutrients. Okay. And so here's a case again where the Let's see here. This, do we know how much this child weighs or this person weighs?
No, so in the comment, it was PCOS, but now she just put a totally different topic in the chat here, Dr. Wallach.
Mhm.
So we're going to go ahead and skip the PCOS and get right to her question because we have two other hands up as well. She is homeschooling her 14-year-old grandson, and his focus is he has no focus, maybe 5 minutes at a time. We are huge users of your products, Dr. Wallach. What do you recommend for his focus and his hyperactivity? He is off all food coloring, very limited sugar, and only on natural sugars.
Okay. Well, none of that's going to solve the problems, as she's found out. Okay. It needs the I-26. Okay. And do we know how much this kid weighs?
At 14, I'm going to guess probably about 115 or 150 pounds. If he's
14 years old,
160,
150
I was
pounds.
close. 160 pounds at 14 years old. Yes.
Okay. All right. So it needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown rice, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. That one's got to go. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. Okay. Let's see here. And it needs the I-26, at least three of those chewables twice a day or 3 of the capsules twice a day, at your choice. And I like anything we have to do with the brain. Okay.
Renew IQ, Dr. Wallach.
There you go. Renew IQ. Renew IQ. Very good. Renew IQ. And also for circulation into the brain, I would throw in the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day. I do that, and I weigh 142 pounds. And I know how I freak people out. How many of these things I take. Okay. But in a couple of months, I'll be 85. It's one of those things where, most people think I'm in my 50s. And so what you want to do is have a kid who's getting everything they need, and they're 14 years old, and they don't have any problems.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And, that Renew IQ, we had some great testimonials at an event that I was in Mississippi this past weekend, where they had a child that had severe ADHD. I believe he was also part of on the spectrum. That he was being held back. He was not able to function in class. They got him on that Renew IQ, and he is now just excelling and able to participate and function as a normal. And this young man was also 14.
What happened to the genetic disease?
Well, I don't know that I've ever heard ADHD is genetic. Maybe. I mean, some people just get it from their parents that they can't focus or pay attention, whatever. I guess it could be learned, but I don't know about genetic. Let's go to AJ, who has his hand up, Dr. Wallach, and then let's hit Keely before we are done. So AJ.
Dr. Wallach, besides the book in the Smithsonian being a national treasure, we're looking at one in you also. So thank you for everything you do.
Oh, thank you. Very kind. How can I help you today?
We have Jack, whose wife Annette has severe arthritis in her knees. She's unable to walk more than a few feet. She also has major problems with swelling in her feet and her legs due to water retention. We don't have an age, height, or weight. So if we can go by 100 pounds, what can we do for Annette?
Okay, well, per 100 pounds, okay, per 100 pounds, get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown rice, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. Use our Rebound which are a sports drink without the carbonation in it. There's 30 of those little packets in a package, and I like those. They taste like orange. Any rate, it also at 100 pounds, which she's got all this arthritis stuff going on, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so she needs the glucogel, 3 of those twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight to rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. Needs the, let's see here, I'd go with the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight. That's going to support healthy blood flow into the brain, into the heart, into the bone marrow, very important here, into the bone marrow, okay? And vitamin D3, take 2 or 3 of those twice a day, as most people, particularly during the wintertime, they don't get enough vitamin D3 to absorb and utilize calcium. So we have vitamin D3 capsules. I take 2 or 3 of those twice a day, okay? And when it's nice out, I try to get sun a half hour a day, but it's not nice. I never stop taking my vitamin D3. And also, these folks tend to have sugar problems. So we do want to be on sweeties. Go ahead and take the sweeties. And this will help control, take 2 or 3 of those twice a day, help control blood sugar levels, energy levels, that kind of stuff. And so let's start there and get back to us, say, as often as they want. Sometimes you get stuff like Pastor Mike, and in 12 hours, you get magic happen. And sometimes it takes 2 months. That's why we have the concept of the 90. Okay, the 90, give us 90 days. Okay.
Yes, sir. Doc, do you think that she's got the edema or swelling in the legs because of blood sugar?
It could be blood sugar, could be circulation, could be bone marrow stuff, could be heart stuff, could be arteries. That's why I like the Beyond, the Ultimate Daily Classic, because it makes the kidneys happy, makes the heart happy, makes the blood vessels happy, makes the bone marrow happy. So that it was really a remarkable product.
And that's a remarkable advice from a remarkable guy. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, AJ and Doc. I have to agree with him. You are pretty remarkable.
Well, thank
Let's
you.
go over to Keely. Keely, go ahead and unmute yourself. And I hope I'm saying that right.
You are. Thank you very much for taking my call. I have a 67-year-old female that's had 7 kidney procedures due to kidney stones. She's had stigmatisms and 3 eye surgeries, which now left her with light and depth perception issues. Due to her sight, she slowed down in physical movement, sleeps in a recliner, and she ended up with blood clot behind her knee. The doctor put her on Intestro. Now she has a loss of memory. She's confused. She lost a cognition, can't do memory recall or word recall. And for 15 years, she took calcium without magnesium. So we're looking for solutions to turn her around.
Okay, do we know how much she weighs?
She weighs about 210 pounds and she's about 5'5".
Okay, so she's a big girl. Okay.
And she's built like a Christmas tree.
Okay, tiny on top, big on bottom.
Correct.
Okay, I got it. All right, so none of the bad stuff, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bran, around oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbon drinks. Either that one's got to go. She can have the rebound or sports drink because the powdered sports drink, okay, come in these little brown packets. There's 30 of them in a container, rebound, and it's just really, really, really a good source of energy, but none of the carbonation. Okay, may have osteoporosis of the skull. She could have demyelinating things going on in her brain and spinal cord. So at 210 pounds, I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, to full dose everything twice a day. She needs, let's see here, 2 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, So you can take three times a day, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablet. That's going to help with circulation and so forth. We have Memory FX. Go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. Okay. 3 doses a day, the Memory FX. Okay. And let's see here. Also, because of the eyes, again, it could be something going on with her myelin in the brain and spinal cord. So she needs the I-26, 2 doses, maybe even 3 doses a day, okay, of the I-26. I like the chewables, the French vanilla, but they also come in banana coconut. They also come in capsules and powder. And that'll help rebuild the brain and spinal cord. And when you have eye things going on and all this other stuff going on, the eyes technically may be okay, but the skull, if she has osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the optic nerves, the optic artery, and the optic veins, okay, can actually cause a slow loss of vision and pressure in the eyes going up, unable to do all the things that eyes are supposed to do. So it wouldn't hurt to get, not an x-ray, but you can take one of those non-radiation pictures of the skull and see if she's got osteoporosis of the skull. Okay. Ask her if she has ringing in her ears, tinnitus in the ears, if she has balance problems, that sort of stuff would be important.
Yeah, she does have balance problems, no ringing in the ears.
Okay, if she got balance problems, she does have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, so she needs to get a hold of the book, It's All in Your Head. The book, It's All in Your Head, and it'll help her and her family or whoever her caregivers are walk through this. Okay, It's All in Your Head. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much and bless you.
Okay, God bless you. And let us know. Call us every couple of weeks. Let us know how she's doing, because this is very common.
Okay, I most certainly will.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Keely. And folks, you can get Dr. Wallach's books by going to DRJ Wallach, which is WALLACH.com. That is drjwallach.com. Dr. Wallach, do you have time for a couple more? I know your attention is being pulled. I can't hear anything. So if you've got time for 2 more questions,
I've got time, but there's somebody banging on the wall. I don't know where Jeremiah is, but there's somebody banging on the door.
just ignore it, please.
Okay.
We'll get it all taken care of. Okay, so
Okay.
let's, we've got question in regards to was it 27-pound King Charles with skin tags? What causes skin tags, Dr. Wallach?
Now, skin tags can be caused by a lack of nutrition into the skin. Okay, we have the hair, skin, and nails. We have the Arthrodex. Follow the directions for dosage on the Arthrodex on the label. And of course, what happens is the skin gets real sensitive. And if they lay on something like a couch that has buttons on it, and they're laying on a button at the same place all the time, a skin tag will pop up there as the body's resistance to that pressure.
How about blood sugar? I know once I got my blood sugar under control, my skin tags were just no longer there.
Okay, good. Well, that's what Sweeties is for.
So adding Sweeties for dogs is okay as well.
Oh yeah, they have a pancreas, don't they?
They do.
They require insulin, don't they?
They do.
Do they ever get diabetes?
I do know people that give their dogs insulin shots, Dr. Wallach.
Well, there you go. So they need the Sweeties.
So for a 20-pound pup, how many would you recommend?
I start out with 1 a day.
All right. So there you go, Tony. 1 per day. Add that in there.
And the Arthrodex.
And the Arthrodex, absolutely. And they also need the essential fatty acids, which the Perpetual Plus actually, oh, shoot. I know Tony is in Canada, Dr. Wallach. I'm going to have to get with you, Tony, and we'll put together a program that we can get to you in Canada. Last question, Dr. Wallach. So we have CJ has a question in regards to a 45-year-old woman with fibroids, had a myomectomy, and I probably said that wrong. In 2010, the fibroids grew back, so she had a uterine artery embolization in 2012, has infertility for the last 2 years, and has done multiple UIs that have failed. She's 115 pounds, and they're wanting to know your recommendations, Dr. Wallach.
And she's 45, 150 pounds.
Yes.
Okay. So
115.
115, 115. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So she's getting rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbon drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. She needs to take 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, to take a half a dose twice a day. And I want her also to have the hair, skin, and nails. She can go ahead and take the hair, skin, and nails to help support skin health. Also, we want her to have our, let's see here. Again, I would go with the Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets. I'd go with 3 of those twice a day. It'll be 1 bottle a month. That's going to help her skin be happy, her liver be happy, her heart be happy, her brain be happy. One more thing I'd throw in is the I-26 for the brain and the spinal cord to function properly. Okay. And let's start there, and call us every couple of weeks and we can walk her through this.
And the I-26 also, Dr. Wallach, provides that cholesterol needed for hormones, including the estrogen and testosterone, which can be part of why somebody has infertility.
That's correct.
So I-26 is another multi-purpose. I think it should be the 91st essential nutrient. You have
Okay,
the 90 essential nutrients. Let's add one more
okay. I
with the
think
I-26. All right, great questions, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And we've got Hunter out on YouTube, Dr. Wallach, that says that he's been giving small doses of the Beyond Osteo Effects and collagen peptides to a stray kitty that has been blessing him. He could tell that her bones were messing with her, and now she's doing great. So the human products, for the most part, the human products can help our fur pets.
Yeah, well, you have to appreciate when they study human nutrition, they use rats and mice and hamsters and rabbits and dogs and cats and cows, and all animals require the same nutrients that humans do. All humans require the same nutrients that animals do. And so we technically and ethically, we can't use humans for research. We have to kill them at the end of the study to find out what's going on. So that's why we went to animals.
Yeah, that might not go over well. So is it the same? You animals, we're looking at amphibians, we're looking at vertebrates, mammals. They all need nutrition?
Well, yeah, just think of those porpoises and congestive heart failure. Okay. And you think of rhino with arthritis, and you think of cows with muscular dystrophy. Same way with SIDS, Sudden Death Syndrome. Animals would die from those things. We learned what caused them, and that's how I was able to figure out so quickly what caused it in humans.
Yeah, and SIDS is actually why our co-host and assistant production manager, AJ, got involved, because he had kids that he was going to school with just dropping. And it has to do with that cardiomyopathy and heart failure. And yeah, there's many reasons why we get involved. And folks, it's because we love people. And once you find a solution.
Had to point out, it cost several $1 million and 8 lawsuits in federal court against the FDA to get all this done. It didn't just happen by me talking about it, because they would just laugh at me. And so that's why we went after them in court. We prevailed, and we got forced these manufacturing companies to put all these nutrients into baby formulas, whether it was solid food or the milk, okay, whether it was in cans or bottles or powder or whatever. And we had to go into court. Every time we added something to it, we had to go into court again.
So you put your money where your mouth was, because you believed in it so wholeheartedly. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach, for not giving up, for fighting the good fight, continuing to fight it. We greatly appreciate you and all you do. And if I could get my team to come on screen, please, with us. I can't do this by myself. I just want to thank them for taking time out of their schedules and days to be here to help me help you, to help us help you. So thank you to my team. We have Marilyn, who is helping with the dictation, and Phyllis also. Both of them doing such a great job putting that information into the chat, which is one of the big pluses of being here with us live in the Zoom room. We have Sherry, who is helping to let people in and also watching for comments and such on all the different platforms. We have Albert way down in South Africa, helping let people in, keeping an eye on the chat, on the videos, making sure that
We got
everybody.
AJ.
I haven't gotten to him
Oh.
yet. On my screen, Doc, he's the last one. I was trying to go in order. But yeah, Albert is making sure that, for those of you who have cameras on, everything is decent. That's for your privacy and everybody else's as well. So thank you, Albert, for that. And then we have AJ, who is helping to get all of this going on all the different platforms. And I know we can't do this without getting the word out. So thank you very much, AJ, for all you do. I know we're being on different time zones, and it's like late my time and even later, and he's still there. So still working hard, and that is so that we can make sure that people are getting information around the world. I know I've got a co-host that if they don't have their cameras on, we can't spotlight them. But there's a lot of people behind the scenes doing their part in helping make this message available to others and supporting you as individuals and as an amazing community to get the information you need to be part of your own health journey in a much better direction. My name is Becca Dukes. Thank you again so much for joining us here on Daily with Doc. Don't forget to go to our website, sign up for our email list. If you have questions, you can also submit those questions through that sign up and get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there's no one to thank, reply to the email, the text message, or just go to our website and send us messages through the contact there or through email. We are here to serve you. Until tomorrow, we will have Dr. Wallach again. And yeah, Hunter, I didn't forget AJ. See, Doc, he thought I was going to forget AJ too. But Friday, we'll have Pharmacist Ben on with us, and we will be talking about PCOS. Stay tuned, and we'll see you then. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, Doc.
Love you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Love you too.